Ha ha ha. What up? Top of the top. Grown man P in the building. ABGBK all day. Black Barbie, what's up? I see you was one of the first today. My man ASAP Auto the first. What up, y'all? What's good? I see everybody want to be on the morning shift. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to wake up. Some people, when they wake up, they smell roses. Some people, when they wake up, they smell trash. So that's what it is. How y'all doing? Salute to P. I see y'all was up late last night. I got up to use the bathroom real quick. I see the bro P was live. I pulled up in the chat and I messed around. I couldn't go back to sleep. I wound up being up to about almost 4 o'clock. I was supposed to get up at 5. So I overslept a little bit. But y'all know I got to keep the fresh news for y'all. So that's how that go. Other than that, it's Wednesday. Y'all know I'm going to do what I do. Hopefully y'all starting y'all day off right. But I'm going to be touching on some things today. And POOH SHIESTY, his net worth was revealed in court because, remember, they trying to say this man was trying to commit a robbery, but according to his bank records, they've been revealed. He also had cash money on him that day, and his attorneys are trying to prove that a lie. I'm also going to be talking about something today which is very, very important. This is the most important story I'm going to be talking about, and that's mental health in kids. They say mental health for kids have been getting worse. That's what's going on right now. That's the real news. Mental health for children it's been getting worse. It's getting out of control, actually. So that's going to be a topic I'm going to really get into, and we're going to break that down. Also, it's been a report saying that Wells Fargo has approved less than half of black people when it comes, I'm talking about black homeowners refinancing their applications or refinancing their homes. Most of them are getting declined. They're not letting black people get loans like that, refinance their cribs, which sounds like a lot of people getting set up for foreclosure. What's up, Randy Nichols? What's up? That's what's going on. Also, I'm going to be touching on some other things. I'm not going to be too long today. Also, I'm going to talk about how Dolph, come to find out to the reports, they say he was shot 22 times. So we know that's called overkill. But anyway, it's the Fun of Fame Live episode 126. What's popping? What's cracking? What's good? All right. And I see we got a lot of YouTube struggles going on. Everybody on the morning now, you know what I'm saying, bro? Because you know why we trendsetters and we get things popping and we make it lit. I also want to say, hold up. Good morning to the sister Jackie Holman. Now I gotta explain something too, because I do have new subscribers, new people pulling in every day. When y'all hear me going in on my rants, and when you hear me clowning, and it might sound like I'm turned up and I'm yelling, I just want y'all to understand I'm never mad. I'm never mad. I don't get mad. And I definitely do not get mad over the internet. That's part of the show when I turn up like that. That's just part of the show. I don't get mad. I don't take this stuff serious, man. And sometimes when it's all said and done, I be laughing at myself. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand that, because some people do think, when I be ranting and I be getting real crazy sometimes, they think I be upset, but I don't. So I just want to make that clear. But other than that, we're going to have a good episode today. Because you know what? I told you, man, sometimes you got to watch the trash. A lot of people want to be stars, but I'm going to bring you what you need to get up in the morning. I'm going to give you that juice. That's what I do. So let's get into it. Now, I heard somebody the other day, I heard that boy Whack 100 running his mouth the other day on Clubhouse once again, trying to put POOH SHIESTY out there as a snitch, making all these allegations when the whole time Whack 100 been chilling with a snitch the whole time. But my point is, the whole time he's been campaigning for the past 3 months or better, pointing out everybody's a snitch, everybody telling, but the whole time this nigga do business with a snitch. He embraces a snitch. And he tried to call POOH SHIESTY a snitch and straight lied on that man. And anyway, POOH SHIESTY already defended himself, showed his pictures in the feds. He spoke up for himself about certain other things, but he's been campaigning trying to call everybody a tattleteller. But the whole thing with POOH SHIESTY is, and I'm going to show you something else, how dudes, they love to speak on people while they at trial, while they dealing with their cases, but they speak on it from a negative light. But POOH SHIESTY is really fighting for his life right now, and in my opinion, from the research I've been doing, he's been getting set up and railroaded. Because according to his net worth that was revealed in court, POOH SHIESTY is worth $3,449,000. Now, this is why he's been in jail. Before he went to jail, we know he had more than this. This is why he's been in jail. This is how much money he got. $3 million, all right? And he pleaded guilty to one count of a firearm conspiracy in January. They was trying to offer him life or something crazy. And I never heard of no firearm conspiracy, but it is what it is. But he's facing a potential sentence of 8 years behind bars. It is being said that many mistakes rendering his sentence illogically, meaning don't make sense, for claiming POOH SHIESTY planned and committed a robbery, then shot a known drug dealer who knew him very well. And the point of the matter is, they're trying to say he robbed and shot a man with his bare face, and this man knew him. They was doing business together, whatever the situation. But the shooting incident allegedly went down over a few dollars, a few couple $100 at that. A couple $100. It was a couple $100 drug deal, probably for a zipper loud, something like that. And POOH SHIESTY lawyers are trying to prove, why would this man try to rob and kill somebody over a couple $100 when he's worth millions? And at the time, POOH SHIESTY had $40,912 in cash on him. So his lawyers are pushing the fact that there's no evidence of Mr. Williams' involvement in a robbery. There's no audio. It's not even no text messages. So it's clear to see they're trying to railroad this boy, and it sounded to me like they're trying to set him up. Let's think about this real quick. If you worth millions of dollars, you got 40,000 cash on you, why would you try to rob a man for a couple hundred and shoot him? And this man knows your name. He knows your face. He knows you're a rapper. We know people give stuff to rappers. This dude, you understand? Rappers can give stuff on their face value. Because you got dudes that want to be down. But they're trying to say that POOH SHIESTY robbed this man for a couple hundred. Now, mind you, he had 40,000 cash on him. But they're trying to say he robbed the man for a couple hundred. So that alone don't make sense. Then they put him in the middle of a drug deal with no audio record, No text messages, him asking for no drugs, nothing like that. And at first, they was trying to get this man life. I think they was offering him life for something crazy at first. But right now, he is fighting 8 years. They're trying to give him 8 years for conspiracy of a gun. Sassy NJ, 100 Rizzle. What's up? Lampinski, I'm going to give you a wrench and a few 100 Rizzle. Tommy D Streams. So like I said, right? Boom, we gotta use common sense. Why would a man with 40,000, if anything, a man with 40,000 cash on him, he got to worry about being robbed? Why would he try to rob somebody for a couple $100? So his lawyers are going hard for him, and they're pulling out his records to show that he's worth $3.5 million right now. We know he's been in jail for a long time. So he's been taking losses. He's been taking a lot of losses. For those that don't know POOH SHIESTY, he's just, you heard his song on the radio during half the pandemic, telling you how he don't need no security when he go to the club. You dig? And you can get it back in blood. If you got a problem with something he did, you can get it back in blood. The song called Get It Back in Blood. Y'all heard that song like the whole last year. And he is one of Gucci Mane's artists. And we did have a conversation about how mostly all of Gucci Mane artists are in jail right now. That's a fact. 6 artists that was under Gucci Mane are currently in jail right now. But that's not the point. The point of the matter is this man is worth $3.5 million right now. And I'm pretty sure when he got locked up, he was worth more than that. But his attorneys showed and proved this man got 3.5 million, as well as he got caught with 40,000 cash. So the point is, they want them to prove how was this man a fact trying to rob this individual for a couple of $100. No audio, no text messages. But this is an example of how anybody could be set up. Somebody could set you up. We always see how somebody could lie on somebody, because you got to remember, there's no such thing as innocent to proven guilty. The whole thing is you guilty, then you got to prove yourself innocent. That's why a lot of times when you get locked up, they already paint the picture that you're guilty. Why? You get locked, you locked up already, right? Boom. And make you look guilty. You got to go to court in chains and cuffs with a jail suit on, making you look guilty. They don't want to give you a bond sometimes, make you look guilty. Because they know when you get out of jail, if you get a bond or a bail, you can fight your case better, come to court more presentable, you know, have your peoples with you, the right credentials on you. But see, in America, when you locked up, you're actually guilty. You have to prove yourself innocent. This is how people get lied on. This is how once you locked up, they could just go on the street and start randomly picking people that you don't even know to come to court and testify against you that you don't even know. What up, Wax Dog? You have to understand, in America, it is so easy for somebody to put dirt on you once you locked up because you can't fight the case. That's kind of what happened to Bill Cosby. So that's how it worked. You could be in jail for one thing. They can pay somebody or coerce somebody to come to jail and say you robbed them, you shot at them. They can throw bodies on you, murders on you didn't even commit, just to try to bury you, and just for the fact they know that you don't got enough money to fight those cases. That's why, in the way it's set up and the way it's rigged, you are actually guilty, and you got to prove you innocent without a shadow of a doubt. So that's what POOH SHIESTY dealing with. Now let's be real. Let's think about this. How is a man with 40,000 cash on him thinking about robbing somebody? I'm pretty sure if anybody in this room, good morning, Rondell. If anybody in this room have 40,000 cash on you, the last thing you would be thinking about is trying to rob somebody. You're going to be more worried about somebody trying to rob you. So that's how we know for a fact this was a setup. Somebody set this man up. And now he's fighting for his life, and they also trying to give him 8 years for a gun charge conspiracy. 8 years. King of New Jersey, peace, God. I see you in the building. So this don't make no sense. This does not make no sense at all. So, like I said, if any, this can happen. This, I'm speaking on this case because this can happen to anybody, right? You could be walking down the block and be at the wrong place, wrong time. You get snatched up. Now they can coerce people to come in court, make up all type of stories on you. And if you don't have the money to fight, if you don't have the money to sustain yourself, you actually can get buried in court. And I know this for a fact, because for people that's been in, you know, like I say, man, I'm pretty sure some of the brothers, y'all been locked up for stuff you didn't do. And you had police coming at you with false information, made up information, but you know somebody was talking. So you like, yo, where they getting this story from? They got half truth, half lies, and you know it's mostly lies, but it's like they start making up stuff, or they get people. Sometimes they go to your ops that don't like you, and they start making up stories on you. So when you're in that precinct, you already know I'm not going to have a fair trial. You did? I know about these things. You can know from the rip if you're going to have a fair case or not. Once you start hearing lies and people putting stuff on you that you ain't even do, because what they be doing is trying to bury you. See, remember, they'll have you for one thing, but then they'll throw like 5 bogus charges on you. They'll throw like 5 bogus charges on you just to get one to stick. And by that time, you've been sitting up. They drain your resources, and you're not gonna get a fair trial. That's how they do it. They've been doing this for a long time. That's why I try to tell brothers, man, it's really 3 options, man. A lot of y'all don't know that. Y'all don't want to. I'm telling you, man. See, you got one. Some brothers, they go to court, try to fight the case. You got some dudes, they get down there, they fold, they start snitching, they tell. And then you got option C, is some brothers going to run because they already know they're not going to get a fair trial. I agree with rule number C, because you got to understand something. Man, we already guilty just by being a certain color. We already guilty. So it's nothing for them to snatch somebody up. And I had these conversations with the people a minute ago. They was doing this tactic way back in the 60s, 70s. Y'all know that from Emmett Till. They've been picking random black people up at will and put bogus charges on them. This was a technique. They was like those racist cops was doing this back in the day to get raises, promotions faster, make it look like they was cracking cases. They was doing this technique to get promotions, you know, to go from a rookie to a sergeant real quick, from a sergeant to a lieutenant to a captain. They was doing these techniques of false allegations, false locking up people, false murders. Y'all know it was a time when they was that's why I say all this ties in with the dirty police officers. Remember, not only do dirty police officers what? They catch people with drugs. Look, they'll take drugs from a man, then make that man work for them. Take them drugs, front it to another snitch that worked for them. Then when they finish, they tell on both of them. And that's how they get their rank up. And that's why there was a lot of dirty cops going on back in the day. And it still go on, but not as much, because you got to understand now they being strict on the police. Let's also remember how back then to be a police officer, a lot of those racist cops, all they had to do was graduate from high school, and that police job was guaranteed for them. Through their family, their pops, their uncles, they was able to get in law enforcement. Y'all know the history of this. Mostly the Irish, the Italians. They was able to get these jobs just off the strength. A lot of them couldn't even barely read, but they was able to get a police job. So when it came up into the 70s and 80s, it was a lot of dirty cops, and you know what I'm saying, running the streets of America and down south, all over. But they have been setting people up for the longest, and they still do it. They put bogus charges on you, and they put so much time over your head you can't fight it. And you got to actually prove you are innocent. You got to prove you innocent first, because you're already labeled as being guilty. And that's what happened to POOH SHIESTY. Now, this man had 40,000 cash. They trying to say he robbed the man for a couple hundred. His lawyers just pulled up showing he got 3.5 million in the bank. He might have had about 5 or 6 when he got locked up. You know he still had to pay his bills. You know he still had to pay his family bills. You know he had to keep his, you know what I'm saying, his property going. You know he had to pay for lawyer, commissary. You know he had to live like a king. My point is they're draining his resources. So probably by the time he get out, he won't really have no money like that. But this is an example of how this can happen to anybody. That's right. That's right. If they don't set you up, the system going to railroad you. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, right? And you also got to watch the company you keep, because like I said, remember, this could have been a situation. He could have been chilling with his mans. His mans could have did a robbery. He going to get blamed for it. And they just trying to make him snitch on his mans. Y'all know how it go. When you have a certain level of a certain money, of a certain dollar, whatever your mans do, they're going to put it on you. But we know for a fact this man did not rob this man for a couple $100. And he knew the man, and he knew his face. And guess what? They had no text messages, no phone conversations, or nothing with this man. So we already know this was a setup and Pooh Shiesty being railroaded. We already know this. This is common sense. Now, they ain't Crack Frost. That ain't him. That's right. Wax on the job. But we got to watch and let this be an example that this been going on for years, and it still can happen to anybody. And what else happened, right? A lot of time, the dudes that don't even do the crime get locked up, and the ones that's doing all the crime, they still be walking around. That's why I told y'all, some people are authorized to do the crime they do, and some people just not. We always forget about one thing. What's the main thing we always forget about? We always forget about those confidential informants. We always forget about that. The people that work, the people that the police have, if they got them niggas on speed dial. And whenever they want to know something, whenever they need something done, that's what they call the CIs. This been going on forever. But most of them are really black ops. You know what I'm saying? They people that look like us, but their whole job is to set us up. So I'm saying that because guess what? You don't even have to be doing no type of crime, but you could be hanging around the wrong people and they can set you up for failure. Y'all know about how you could get somebody a ride. You get pulled, you just happen to get pulled over. Dude can leave a gun in your car. You know, he can leave a pack under your seat trying to set you up. You got dudes do stuff like that. Those are old school tricks. That's why when you ride by yourself. You don't give nobody a ride to do nothing. That's the time we're in right now. Period. So this the time we in. One up. I ain't gonna one up. Don't talk right now, bro. You be violating, bro. You used to be cool, but you be doing too much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is no excuse, but you be entertaining ignorance too, bro. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I'm not gonna say Pooh Shiesty was all the way ignorant, because guess what? He didn't do nothing. So it is what it is, because his lawyers got the proof that this man, they knew each other, and he already had 40,000 cash. So why he gonna rob him for a couple $100? Those are the facts. And he's worth millions of dollars. Actually, right now he's worth $3,449,000. That's what he's worth right now. But other than that, like I said, it just shows you it's a certain mindset that's set up, right? It's out here and it's like, boom. I told you, everything a black man do, everything a man do, you automatically guilty. You got to prove you're innocent. The same way this man just came in here accused this man of being ignorant. That's how it's looked at. We looked at as being ignorant. Everything we do, we get caught up in. We ignorant, we stupid. But it's not always the truth. It's not always the truth. But I understand Pooh Shiesty did put out a wicked-ass song. Don't get me wrong. I spoke about that a long time ago, how the song he actually put out was the theme music to a lot of killings that was going on at the time. Because this song promoted robbery, jacking, killing, called Take It in Blood. And the whole song was about robbing. If you got a problem with it, come back and get what's yours and take it in blood. And we heard that song on the radio. That song was on the top of the charts. That song had the most video streams on YouTube when it was out. He had the most streams for that video. We seen Dirk hop on a remix. So that was a negative ass song. It was a wicked song. And I do understand when you make music like that, it is repercussions. I understand that. So if anything, I would say that song is the repercussions of what he did, meaning, you know what I'm saying? You know how the industry works. He had to be sacrificed. He had to be sat down. So like I said, it's mighty funny. All the Gucci Mane artists are sitting in jail right now. 6 of his artists. Even we forgot about Young Rollo. Young Rollo got caught with all them pounds of tree. He's still locked. He's still in the feds. He ain't even fight us. He ain't even go to trial yet. That man been locked up for over 3 years or something. He ain't even go to trial. All for some gas. He ain't shoot nobody. He ain't kill nobody. This man locked up for trees. So it just show you that they pick and choose what they gonna do. That's what they do. American Links, what up? Miss Nadine, good morning. But that's what I was speaking on with Pooh Shiesty. How it ain't just about Pooh Shiesty. It's about he represents a certain breed of people. He represents the average man that it don't matter. If you guilty, you got to prove me guilty. You can't just railroad me off the rip. Because at first he was facing life, but they made him cop out. They made him basically take a deal. But not you know, so they made him take a deal. So now he's only facing 8 years. But it is what it is. Also, we got news, you know, the autopsy came back on Dolph's body, and they say that Dolph was shot up 22 times. So we know that was overkill. We know that somebody really had it out for that man. And we got to remember this. This man took 22 shots in broad daylight. So we already know, in my opinion, what up, Pone? In my opinion, this was a hit. In my opinion, it was a hit. It had to be done. No ifs, ands about it. They didn't want no chance of Dolph making it. And when them dudes pulled up broad daylight, they let up, remember, they let off a whole lot of shots, but guess what? 22 shots went in that man. Some of us have been shot multiple times, but I don't think none of us took over. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody took. I ain't hit. I heard niggas say they've been shot 9 times and all that, but I ain't never hit nobody take over 10 shots. But my point is that man's body got riddled 22 times, and you see they had choppers. They had them ARs. So they did Dolph very, very dirty. And I also spoke on before how the caretaker of Dolph's memorial site, he got shot and killed in the whip. You know what I'm saying? He was driving. They rolled down on him and shot him up. He crashed into a pole. And all he did was put out the candles and keep the flowers fresh. They say he had to go too. Memphis is off the hook. Memphis been like that, though. I told y'all that's the home of First 48. They've been smoking people in Memphis. Memphis is another store. Pardon me, it's another place you can go in a gun store and get you some heat like you're going to buy some potato chips. You know what I'm saying? You can go buy choppers like nothing. So them dudes play different down there. And Pooh Shiesty, he from Memphis. Memphis had a lot of money circulating out there. These dudes was getting in the game. But we see Dolph, he got done dirty. The dudes that allegedly shot Dolph, they still going to court. That case being dragged out. And like I told y'all before, that man Dolph owned over 100 properties. So he was doing things that was bigger than rap. But I think one day we might find out who actually sent them dudes. Because I know that, in my opinion, them dudes that did that to him, they were some broke niggas. They were sent on a dummy mission, if you ask me. But some people say it was a beef. Some people say it was a blood Crip beef. You know what I'm saying? Some people say it was a label beef. Either way, that man got Swiss cheese 22 times. And in my opinion, Dolph should have been lacking still driving that camouflage Lambo. He shouldn't have been moving like that. He was moving too sweet. Y'all know when you're in the game, you got to move militant. You got to move right. I keep telling you, you got to move right, man. That's all I'm saying. But he got caught, man. And he got shot 22 times. And the dude that was putting out the memorial, you know, the memorial stuff, he got shot up too. He crashed into a pole. And they ain't find his killer. So the saga in Memphis continues. So also I'm gonna get into something right now, and this real business right here. You know what I'm saying? They say that mental health for kids is getting worse. They say 73 million American kids is under strain and seems to be getting worse. Anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems appear to be on the rise. A lot of us already know this. And they saying that the amount of time kids being spent physically active or getting care has been on a decline. Bottom line, what they saying, kids are not playing, they're not going outside, they're not having no fun. A lot of it is the pandemic, but this the main thing we got to understand. The mental trauma that your children going through now is going to affect them when they get older. So a lot of our children, they have already messed up their brain already. A lot of our kids' brains are already being scrambled now. So as they get older, their brain will never be able to reset and adapt to what life is really all about. Remember, it's called, part of it we already know is called what? Not having a childhood. Did we not see people that didn't have a childhood grow up to be kind of strange, kind of weird? Isn't that part of the behavior of serial killers? People like Michael Jackson, when you don't have a childhood, you grow up to be strange. You see, many of us had childhoods. We went through stages. It's not that we so smart, we know it all. No, we've been through life, through levels. We had childhoods. We played, and then after I'm gonna break it down. See, in elementary, went to school, we had fun, played basketball, football, tag, hide and seek, slap boxing, skateboarding, racing, all this stuff. We doing it outside. You remember back in the day, if you ain't go outside, your parents looked at you like you was a weirdo. What you doing in the house? It's hot outside. Go outside. You ain't want to go outside when you was young back in the day. You looked like your parents or your family looked at you like something was wrong with you. Man, that boy, he in the room. He ain't come out all day. How do most of your kids live their life now? Do they not be in a room most of the time all day? But I told you back in the day, our family looked at us like we was weird. Or they figured you was shook, you was scared, and somebody outside was bullying you. That's why you ain't want to go outside. So, man, you know how now everybody say I'm outside. Remember when you was young, if you ain't go outside, you was considered to be scared. What happened to you? Why you ain't going riding your bike? Remember, you had to ride your bike. That was called being a child, being active. We went through this in elementary school. Most of us that got our head on our shoulders, right? We went through this as a child. Get it? Elementary school. This is around the same time when you start having little crushes on girls. You know what I'm saying? Y'all start playing, playing different games together. Sometimes the boys and the girls play together. This is elementary school. Active. Then what happened after that? You went to middle school, junior high school, whatever you call it, depending on where you're from. Junior high school. Become a teenager. By the time you're a teenager, you start playing organized sports. Basketball, organized. You start playing for a little team. Football, baseball, you start joining teams, learning about teamwork. But a lot of people didn't understand that when we played sports, that was actually building what? Social skills. It was also building what? Sportsmanship. How to take losses. Keep your head up. How to shake hands after the game, or even if you lost or not. Remember that? We was taught these things as children. That's why it was important to join these teams. I played basketball. I played Little League football. I got trophies. Those were things to build your self-esteem. Those were things to teach you how to interact with different people. Because when you have different people on a team and y'all learn to work together, that builds social skills. It builds unity. It builds working in a unit. This is what was taught to us as children. That's why it was important to go outside and play. When you got older, it was important to play on teams. For the females, y'all was in jump rope groups. Y'all was in step teams. Y'all was doing cheerleading. It taught women to come together. Y'all can all look pretty. Don't gotta hate on each other. Y'all all got on good uniform. It taught women to come together as young women. What also happened in junior high school, middle school? We was having crushes. What we started doing? Talking on the phone and stuff. Getting phone numbers. Communicating with the opposite sex. This happened at teenager. 12, 13, 14. You understand? You get it? These were steps to working your brain. These were steps to becoming an adult one day. Everything I just said, the kids don't do that now. They don't do that. So the question is, are we also responsible for making a lot of our children depressed? Mental health? Because a lot of us, we doing what we want to do and we don't do that no more. Let me rewind it back again. When I first seen the Yankees play, my dad took me to see the Yankees. My dad took me to a Mets game. My dad took me to a Knicks game. You see, as a child, my dad took me to the circus. That's how I know what a clown is to this day. But that is stuff that gave me a childhood. We had these conversations before. I've been to Hershey Park, Great Adventures, Busch Gardens. I've been to every theme park, Sesame Place. I've been everywhere before I was, you know what I'm saying, a certain age. Because I didn't know what my father was doing. He was showing me how to have a childhood. Then you was taught what? Get good grades in school, and then you can have this. See, my dad bought me a nameplate with my name on it when I was in the 4th grade. I've been had a chain. You dig? When I was bad, he put me in private school. My point is, you was taught that if you do this bad, you're going to pay. If you do good, you get rewarded. When I lied, got my ass whipped. You see? But this was making me become a man. This is why I had a childhood. I can look back at my childhood and see when I did dumb stuff, see when I was, you know what I'm saying? This is what shape and mold you. If you don't go through these steps, when you just grow older, you're going to become a mush brain, a slush brain. You're going to become not comprehensible. You're going to go into depressions, throw fits, tantrums, have bad behavior. Now, we all have bad behavior. A lot of us, we have bad behavior. A lot of us was acting out. But we always knew it was somebody in the family that would discipline you, but not only that, it was somebody in your family that you didn't want to disappoint, because a lot of us, we was taught to be ashamed of our bad behavior. Y'all know that. Whether it was your grandmother, whether it was, you know what I'm saying? What up, Cav Stone? What up, bro? We was ashamed of bad behavior. It was certain people, you know, in school, we'll act up, but if it was a certain your grandmother was a certain person in your family, you'd be ashamed of that. And then you try to what? You try to tighten up. You try to straighten up. You know what I'm saying? You want to get that good report card, so you get your clout throughout the family. You know what I'm saying? You'll get some new clothes, you'll get some money. You know, you're going to go somewhere. We got rewarded. But now what happened? We live in a lifestyle now where kids get rewarded for failure. They get everything and they don't do nothing. And everything they get keeps them in the house, where they got to be around what? Around grown-ups, on TVs, with headsets on. So all this stuff is working their brain, but it's working their brain in a derogatory state, meaning they not experiencing life. First of all, when you're young and you grow up around grown-ups and you move around grown-ups, you're automatically missing out your childhood. That's why I use the Michael Jackson example, because remember, when he was young, he had to be a young man. He was in offices with businessmen. He was dealing with contracts. He didn't have a childhood. Remember, some of us as children, we know about, it was levels. First, you had to be able to come in front of the house, in front of the building, wherever you lived at. Then you went from, you can go down the street. But then most of us, we started traveling around the whole city without our parents knowing. We started learning how to be what? Responsible. How to ride our bikes to other neighborhoods and make it back home. We started learning navigation, how to go places on our own. A lot of your kids now, you know damn well you can't send them to the store, yet alone send them to the store to get something. But my point is, this is part of the things making our kids messed up in their heads, making them slow. That's why I say how a lot of us was raised now, it will be called child abuse or child neglect. When I was 8 years old, my pops took me to the store Wall Bounce, to be exact, for those that know from New York. Wall Bounce, you know what I'm saying, supermarket, took me in the store, took me to the manager, and set me up to pack bags in the store. So I was packing bags, getting money. I ain't realize what he was doing. I ain't want to do it. When I got older, I peeped game. I said, damn, my pop's trying to show me how to get money. Show me how to be responsible. And I did it. You know what I'm saying? He showed me how to collect bottles and cans. This was back then when you was, you know what I'm saying, if you young collecting bottles and cans, you get money. We know now bums do that. You know, I ain't gonna say all bums do it, but you know what I mean. I was doing that when I was young to get extra bread. Or he'll you know what I'm saying, my pops would put me on to certain grown-ups that would keep, they recycle stuff in their house and they already had a bag for me. I just got to go get the bag. But he made me go get the bags and cash them out. You know what I'm saying? The shopping cart. I was young doing that. He was teaching me how to respect the dollar, how to hustle. Even though my pops already had it. But I'm trying to show you these are techniques that was taught to us. And it wasn't called being a baby. It wasn't called about none of that. We had to learn. And we got to remember at this time, the world was crazy back then. Things was wicked. And we still had to go outside and do certain things. That's what make us what we are today. But now a lot of that stuff will be considered child neglect. It will be considered other things, you know, because even don't get me wrong. They was with the program of us dumbing down our kids. That's why they say you can't hit your son, you can't hit your kids with a switch. That's abuse. They can call the people on you. That's how your own kids get back you down in your own crib. I call them people on you. You better not hit me, Dad. I'm telling you, I call on you. Basically, the people was with the smoke. They was with it. We're going to use their kids and turn their kids against them in their household. So they'll never be able to raise them properly. And then when they can't discipline them and raise them properly, we're going to feed their kids a bunch of BS. We're going to feed them nonsense. We're going to feed them everything. We're going to give them TikTok, Snapchat. We're going to give them kids everything. We're going to give them Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. We're going to teach them how to shoot early, all that. Meanwhile, what's going on? They're not having no childhood. They're not going outside playing. These kids don't even know how it is to go outside and come home smelling like the air outside, smelling like sweat and air, because they always in the crib. So what else they've been saying? The kids are obese more than they used to be, which is causing kids to have health conditions early before their time, overweight. Man, all this stuff is programmed. But this is my point. Everything I'm saying is going to affect the kids as they get older. It's going to affect the kids as they get older. So when they become young adults and adults, they're not going to have all their marbles in their head. I'm not trying to be funny, because they just said that 73 million American kids is under strain. And it seems to be getting worse. Anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems. Now, I'm not in nobody's business. I'm not in nobody's family, but I guarantee one of your kids is showing one of these characteristics. Anxiety, depression, behavioral problems. And I know for a fact a lot of people don't let their kids go out and play because, you know, you got to be overprotective now. Some people feel like it's safer for their kids to be in the house. I get that. I agree with that part too. But the point you got to understand is without a childhood, it affects your brain. When you consider to always be, you trying to be grown or you're around grown-ups and grown conversations, ear hustling. I was a master of ear hustling. You did. I've been smart a long time. I was raised around grown-ups too. Ear hustling. You got to tell me to go in the room. But you know, when I go in the room, I'm still going to be listening, but that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? You sit in the room with your parents, your family. Some come on, you know, when it came time to HBO, certain things with cursing, they tell you go in the room. We don't do that now, so stop capping. You let your kids watch Power. They're going to watch everything with you like they grown. You're going to do everything you do. You know how it go. We're not going to be hypocrites. Remember back in the day, your parents about to smoke some gas, they told you, go in the room. We ain't going to be sitting up in my face. Even though sometimes it made us more curious, but it always was a standard set. If you was around grown-ups, you better act like you doing something else. You better perpetrate like you ain't paying attention. Because as soon as they see you paying attention, get out of here. Go outside. Why you in the house for? Especially if it was a nice day and you was in the house. I told you, you was considered to be a weirdo or something was wrong or you're scared. You had to, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, we had to stay in the house. That was punishment. You see it's reversed now. You get it? We love to play so much. We acted up. We got put on punishment. Some of us got put on punishment for weeks. Some people got put on punishment for months. In my opinion, that was my first time of doing bids. I couldn't stand being on punishment. But that's the only way my people would get me to act right. Punishment for a month straight. Stuff like that. That was like doing bids. But it taught us certain things. It taught us that what? Certain things we do is repercussions to it. It also taught us when you go outside, enjoy your fun till it's over with. Some people had to come in the house when a street light came on. Like people like me, once it got dark, I had to call in and check in every hour. Come in the crib every hour, check in. You know what I'm saying? You go back out. All right, can I go back out? You go back out. Had to come check in every hour. Salute to the chat. But a lot of us, we had childhoods. Some of us went outside. We played so hard. What? Our parents had to come outside and look for us. Where you at? But that's how much fun we was having. We didn't want to go home. And guess what? It wasn't about no money. It wasn't about nothing. It was just about what? Enjoying being with your friends, having fun, laughing, joking, eating candy, potato chips. You know what I'm saying? We had fun. Kids now, they don't have fun. That's why mental health in children are on the rise. They're not having fun. They're depressed. And they playing games with the C-19. They playing games with them. Put on the mask, little kid. Take the mask off. Today you going to school. Tomorrow you ain't going to school. Y'all going to school. You ain't going to school. Go in the room. See that? They brain getting scrambled. And where's the fun at? Then a lot of the parents, let's be real. A lot of us, no. Then we don't want to take our kids nowhere. Don't want to do nothing. You want to chill. You don't want to take them nowhere. You don't want to do nothing. Remember back in the day, something simple as going to McDonald's, letting your kids play in a playpen. Go to Burger King, let them play in a playpen. Stuff like that. Chuck E. Cheese, remember that? Kids don't have no fun no more like that. They don't do nothing. But my point is literally taking a strain on their brain. So everybody gotta check their child, really, their mental health condition. It's called, sometimes you gotta just sit down and talk to them. Sometimes you just gotta take them outside and do something. Just take them outside, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being no hypocrite or none of this. I'm just saying this is something we all gotta do, meaning we all gotta get through this, because if they say 73 million kids are under strain of mental health and it's getting worse, that's 73 million adults one day that's not going to have it all in their brain. And remember, this also doesn't even have nothing to do with the children that are actually on Ritalin and stuff like that. This don't got nothing to do with that. This is an average thing, because most children, they're raised backwards. One generation raised one way, another generation raised another way. But then they're going to play the game that the old against the young, everything is different now. Or you stuck in the past, it's a new day. No, it's not. It's just that they raising y'all backwards. Everybody was raised the same way, but it came to a certain point where they changed it all. After 2000, they started changing how you raise your kids. Why you think a lot of us, don't matter where you from, don't matter what color you are, what state, what city, a lot of us was raised the same way. Our parents, our aunts, we was raised the same way because it was a certain cloth how we was raised. But you'll see the new world, they changed everything. You discipline your child abuse. I remember when there was a time when you could be left in the crib at a certain 8, 9, had to learn how to cook at 8, 9 years old. A lot of y'all know damn well you are not going to let your child cook nothing at 8, 9 years old. And you scared they're going to burn the house. But if you leave a child in the house at that age now, they're going to say that's child neglect. Because they automatically try to point the picture that our children are dumb. And they want you to keep them dumb or make them dumb. Remember, there was a time where it was a thing called kids was gifted. A lot of kids used to get skipped. They was considered gifted, extra, super smart. But now they make your children extra, super dumb on purpose. So growing up, we always knew it was certain kids that were smart. I knew I was smart, but I knew it was kids that were smarter than me. We used to call them what? Nerds. And they used to be in gifted classes. Some of them went on to be doctors, stuff like that. My point is, it was always about education. It was always about, I grew up in a time as well as of a lot of child prodigies where it was cool to be a child that was smarter than they were supposed to be. That's the time I came up in. Now we live in a time where your child is supposed to be dumb and you're supposed to accept it. Your child is supposed to be less than, or your child is supposed to be average. And they got so many different things in place where they're going to make sure your child never make it past nothing. That's how they got it all set up. That's why we got to be real. You got we know for a fact celebrities have more control over most of our children than we do. Celebrities, entertainers, everybody got more say-so of your child than you. You get it? But it was a time when we knew better. We like celebrities. We used to like entertainment, but we knew reality. My dad run the house. My mom's is what it is. My you know what I'm saying? My grandmother's what it is. Ain't worried about no rapper. We knew better. My dad also took me to the first one of the first rap concerts. You did? The first rap concert I went to as a child. You did? Run DMC. You heard? So I know what I'm talking about. It's certain things that shaped and molded me. So when I got older, I was up on a lot of game. I ain't just talking about having older brothers. I'm just talking about the relationship that I had with my father and being around my family as a whole, aunts, you know what I'm saying, uncles, all of that put me into a certain place. That's why I am the way I am. So people think I just be talking. Now I'm not talking. When I was young, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was smart, man. I told you, I was a master ear hustler at a young age. I knew how to listen, shut up, pay attention, stay out the way. That's why I mastered at a young age. So by doing that, I was able to be around a lot of old people. But the only difference is I always went outside. I always played because I love to have fun. I played organized sports. I told y'all that all this stuff shapes and molds you. That's why, guess what? To this day, I can be by myself and I won't tweak out. You know I won't tweak out by myself because I've been around a lot of people my whole life. I've always been social. So I don't have no social disorders. I've always been social. I've been too social. Some of y'all, we all been too social. Always hung around people. Always at the party. Always around everybody. Always sharing. Always caring about other people. We did that already. So most of us, we happy with being by ourselves now. You get it? See, but when you ain't have that, you grow up, you'll be a misfit. You'll be older. You still don't want to accept the fact you ain't got no friends because you never had no friends. You older, you still in the crib. You was in the room your whole life as a child. You still in the room by yourself and you grown. You grown as hell. You still in the house every day. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying you was in the house since you was a child every day. Now you're grown, you still in the house every day. So that's what makes you a weirdo. You never had a life outside. You never explored. What else is another thing we got to go through in life? Okay, I explained it. You went from elementary to junior high. Then when you go to high school, you start making moves on your own. What happened? When you get older, you start what? You start moving around your city by yourself. You start learning about mass transportation. You start learning how to be responsible. Sometimes a lot of people got their first job when it was 15, 16. Started being responsible. You dig, you start going shopping on your own. So I remember that. I'm 13. By the time I was 13, I was going shopping on my own. You can't buy me no clothes. That stuff whack. Just give me the money. I'll go myself. Me and my boys, we go get our money. We go shopping together. 13. That's a fact. 8th grade, shopping on our own, man. You know damn well you ain't give your kids no money at 13, let them go shopping right now. You know damn well you ain't going to do that. You know why? Because they taught you to make your kids slow. They taught you that that's not the right thing to do. Man, all this stuff was taught to us, man. They dumbed us down. So I'm trying to show you the way I grew up. I know a lot of y'all grew up the same way. I ain't just making this up. A lot of y'all grew up the same way. So, like I said, when you was a teenager, high school, you start learning how to move on your own. Boom. Then what happened? Then when it's time to leave high school, that's when some of us started what? Learning how to go out of town on our own. Started learning how to go to different states. It's called college. Some of us wasn't going to college. We were going to hustle. But we started learning how to go out of state. 16 years old, I was going out of state. On a Greyhound. In rental cars in the back seat. Stuff like that at 16, 17. That's a fact. Learning other places other than my neighborhood because I had conquered New York City. I had conquered my block. I had conquered the boroughs, how to move around. Now I want to see how the rest of how other places look. My mind was traveling. I want to see things. That's why I'm trying to tell you, it's certain things you got to go through or you're going to be a weirdo. You're going to be cut short in life. You're not going to see the big picture because you've always been in one state of mind. Some people went overseas. Like I had a chance to go overseas, but I was being set in my ways. I ain't want to go to Germany. My people trying to get me to go to Germany. I was on the block time. I ain't going to no Germany. My people's in Alaska trying to get me to come to Alaska, so I could have been making $50,000 a year. I ain't want to go to Alaska. I was setting my, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for that move. But in certain moves, if I'd have made them then, I'd be sitting different right now. I ain't know in Alaska, they get a stimulus check every year off the rip just for living in Alaska. See, stuff like that, I ain't know. Because I was on the block. I ain't want to do nothing else. So my point is, even a lot of us, we was raised right, but as we got older, a lot of us dumbed out and we started going backwards. And when a lot of us went backwards, that's why some of us are trying to get back right. So we all been suffering some type of mental health. You did? Top of the top, Roski, what up? So my point is, I could have went to Alaska. Ask yourself right now. Somebody say, yo, come to Alaska right now. You can make what? 80,000 a year, 100. You gonna go? My point is this. Your mind got to be set on certain things that you're willing to expand yourself. That's all I'm saying. But it was levels how we had to go through. First, you had to learn how to come outside in front of the crib. Then you had to learn how to go down the block. Then you had to learn how to go to the store on your own, go to school on your own. Then you had to learn how to shop on your own, go to different boroughs. Then you learn how to go to different states. And then some people got older. Like I said, they started going to different countries. Some of y'all been in different countries. Y'all been on big vacations with the islands. That's part of life. My point is you have to do those things in life or you will tweak out. It's called having a life. So I'm saying all this to say that they're saying that, you know, the mental health in kids is getting worse. Not only is it bad, it's getting worse. 73 million American kids is under strain, and it seems to be getting worse. They stressed out with anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems. And they say it appears to be on the rise, but I know the same people making this report is the same people doing it to our kids. So that's why I'm saying, man, it don't matter what you've been through. It's never too late to fix nothing. But the main thing you got to do is you got to live life. And when you're a kid, living their life, you know what it's called? It's called playing. It's called having fun. So all of us that was raised better, as far as we know better what it is to be a child, we gotta teach them to our children so they could be children and have a life. Because if not, when they grow up, they're gonna be weird. Why you think part of the reason why when they lock people up, they keep you locked up so long that when you get out, you're not gonna be able to adapt. And they're really trying to, when you locked up, they're really trying to break your mental. They're trying to break your spirit. They're trying to break you. Look, man, they know life is about moving around, doing things, and enjoying sex. So what's the main thing they take from you? Moving around, having fun, and they take away sex. And they know when they hold those things from you for a certain amount of time, you're automatically going to become a weirdo if you let it break you down, if you don't focus your mind. That's why what? When we look at prison is actually the breeding grounds for suspect behavior. What? You got men going straight, But they break them so long, they actually alter their DNA. They alter their reality. And they be in there so long, they start thinking man or woman. It's a mind thing they do. They breed this activity in there. You know how when you used to watch the cartoons and they get so hungry, they start looking at the other person, they start turning to a Frank or a hamburger. That's how they do the niggas in jail. Some men that's weak-minded, they be in jail so long, they start looking at another man thinking that's a woman. But it's a mental thing because they stop you from seeing the beautifulest women on the planet. They stop you from going places. They kept you in dark hallways and cells that was dirty with gates and people screaming at you, and they mess and scramble your brain. So now when they let you go, you still don't know how to act. You don't even know how to adapt to what you see. And in the same way, when you got for my people that breed and train dogs, ain't it the same way when you got a dog and you keep them in that cage all day and you just hold them back, the first time you let that dog out, he don't even know how to act when he come outside. You know that. All my people that raise dogs and keep dogs in the cage or in the backyard, you know for a fact, when you let them off that leash, like in a space somewhere, that dog gonna go ham. Well, those are the same techniques they use on human beings, bro. The same way you break your dog, the same way they break human beings. That's why a lot of people are walking out here under mind control. They out here messed up in the head. That's why I told you some people are human remote controls. They only can move unless somebody push their button. They only can do something unless they told to do it. They only can do something unless they see somebody else do it. These are mental health issues, and it starts from a child. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But they're saying our children now are getting worse. So how you look at that is if they saying it's a lot of people with mental health issues now, that means it's going to be 3 times worse in the future. So like I keep telling you, if they say the children are the future, what do we really have to look at? If they say most of our children are losing it. And I know these are just reports, but I also know this is a reality too. Because when I go outside, I see kids play. I'm starting to see more kids play now than I used to. I can say that much, but I know a lot of people have been scared to death to really let their kids outside. Yet alone, you're not letting them go to the store and get nothing for you. You remember your people used to test you out. Go to the store, get some bread. Go to the store, get something. Go to the store. First, they'll say, go to the store, get some bread. Then you step your game up. They might say, go to the store, get some bread and some eggs and some milk. You know what I'm saying? You was tested. That was all mind. That was all mind developing tactics that your family was doing to you. They was teaching you how to be responsible, like I said, man. And some of us, we learned. So we all got to pay attention. And sometimes, remember, when you see a kid being secluded, sometimes you really got to ask them, what's wrong? You all right? You got to give them a mental check every day. You okay? Everything straight? You want to say you want to talk about? Because some of us, we didn't have that neither, so don't get it messed up. Some of us ain't never really had our parents tell us they love us like that. That alone will put mental health issues on you too. If you don't just tell your kid you love them. Not just because they did something. Sometimes you got to just bust in the room. So you know I love you, right? Let me give you a hug. Come here. They need that. Because if they go too long without that, they start tweaking out too. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, Wax Dog. You put a dude in a hole for 3 years and think he's going to be normal after that. That's a fact. Yeah. You know that. It's the same thing if you're breaking an animal. You know that. You know that. They know what they be doing, man. Those are, look, let's look at it. Really, jail and penitentiary, those are breeding grounds to create mental health patients. You dig? To alter not only our DNA, but to alter our mind. That's what it's all set up to be. Drive you crazy. That's why I said when you get locked up, they're going to say you guilty first. Then you got to prove you innocent. After a while, you be locked up so long, they trick you into believing you're guilty. It's called copping out. You take a charge of something you know you ain't even do. Because they broke your spirit. They broke you. They convinced you and tricked you to admit you're guilty to something you didn't even do. Because you want to get less time to get back out. Man, it's all a mind game, bro. It's a mind game, family. And they've been using this ever since they shut down slavery. They said, okay, we'll take the chains off. We don't got to work the field, but we're going to have so much stuff in play, man, where they ain't never going to come up. They ain't never going to be free. We're going to have so many things coming at them, they ain't never going to be free. And what we're seeing now is we're starting to see the repercussions through the generations. Not only the generational curses, we starting to see the behavior of our people as a whole, and it's not looking too good. I'm talking about the American people. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody, I'm telling you, everybody is almost from a dysfunctional family. The key word is functioning, but we know it's dysfunctional because we learn to accept our family for who they are. But a lot of us, when we get smarter and wiser, we get away from some of them dysfunctional family members. We get away. And this is how they designed it to be. That's why I went into the saying before, it ain't no more Big Mama's house. So don't feel bad if you ain't got your grandmother and your aunt, and you could go to somebody's house every Sunday, eat a big meal, y'all all at the table. Guess what? I remember those days. And I see when they all disappeared. I went through them. That's how most of us grew up. It was one family member in the house where everybody could link up one day a week. 9 times out of 10 on the weekend. That's how it was, especially for my people in New York. It was always one family member where everybody pulled up at. Before the time of cell phones, internet, you know, when you go to so-and-so house, that's why I'm going to see my aunt and my cousin at. That's why I'm going to see my uncle going to pull up. That's why I'm going to see my bro going to pull up. All I got to do is go to grandma's house. Everybody going to be there. That's what it was. Now we ain't got no big mamas no more. Now don't nobody want to cook. You know that. Everybody on Grubhub. And we ain't got that. They destroyed all our families, bro. That's what they did. They destroyed all our families. And they did it through a technique. And that's part of all what this is all about. That's why it's always, that's why I told you one of the last wars is the old against the young. Because if they keep the old and the young separated, the young ain't gonna never know their real history. They ain't gonna know their true roots. And then they can manipulate your young because they don't even know who they are no more. And then they trick the young people to think that all the older people are all washed up and stupid. And don't get me wrong, a lot of old people, they do feed into that narrative because they do be old and stupid. But you got to understand, it's about communication. So remember, once the communication is taken away, everything is over with. So that's why I say you got to communicate with your kids as well as your loved ones. You got to communicate with them, or they just going to be messed up in the head. You can't just say, shut up, get out my face, go play the game. After a while, the game's going to become their parent. The game's going to become their all in all to their brain. When you take that game from them, they're going to wig out. Some of y'all parents right now, I promise you, you try to take that game, your kid might pull a knife on you. You get what I'm saying? You try to take that game, your kid might hook off and try to swing on you. That's how much they got love for that game. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you. Because we live in a time now where these kids know they got power. You know what I'm saying? They got power. They got power over the parents now because of what? The laws. The laws made it like that. So you try to come with that saying, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out this world. You know they're going to make you pay for that now. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't play them games. But bro said, that's right. My son gets so mad when I take that PlayStation away. It's crazy. Word up. Point out, he'll swing on you, bro. You know that. You already know when he get a certain age, he's going to try you anyway. You already know that. He's going to try you. Word, Roski said, facts, family ain't the same no more. I missed the late 90s. That's a fact, bro. And you also knew what? In your family, no matter how foul, no matter how much you messed up, somebody in your family was always going to show you love, or they was going to be there for you. They was always going to, somebody in your family always going to support you. Remember, that's when the family was the real family. Because remember, like, even if one family member was lacking, you had other family members. So if your mother, your father was lacking, you still had a grandmother. If you had a grandmother, you had a solid uncle, you had a solid aunt. You had somebody in your family that was solid. That's just what it was. Now they got everybody doing something called what? Going for self. So guess what? That's also why even with remember, some of us was told we wasn't going to be nothing when we grew up anyway. But some of us got older, we actually made something of ourselves. But now people ain't even around to congratulate us, some of them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't able to see how you made it successful. Like my grandmother ain't here to see, she wasn't here to see me change my ways and see me, you know what I'm saying, being legit. That's the part that hurt. That when you finally did make it, your family that was there, they're not even here to see you make it. And their last visions of you might have been with dealing with criminal activity or being a failure. You know what I'm saying? Getting in trouble. That's why that is a real saying. Some family members did break their family heart. Some of us did break our family members' heart to the point it did put them in early graves. That's a fact. We did really break some of our grandmothers' hearts. When your grandmother got to carry the burden of like 5 to 10 grandkids, all of them just messing up. All her kids just acting up. Grandkids, kids, everybody. Maybe some of us, we did break our family members' hearts on some real talk. That's why I said these are things we got to talk about, because what? In the family, a lot of stuff happened because we wasn't talking and communicating. Some families specialize in backbiting, talking about each other. That's why I don't deal with none of that stuff no more. But anyway, I'm just saying, man, all this created mental health problems in our community. And I'm telling for all my people, because I know a lot of my people got children. We got children, and I'm just saying, somewhere down the line, we got to fix this, because guess what? We the last ones that actually know better. When they get older, they're not going to know nothing. They're not going to know too much of nothing. I'm not saying they're going to be dumb. They're going to be book smart, but they're not going to know their family roots and history. They're not going to know their true roots. We are the last holders. Reason why I say that. My people from New York ain't New York no more. That ain't the New York we grew up in. That ain't the same New York. It's different now. It's remixed. New people coming in. It's different. But we got to teach them about what it really is and what it really was. That's the real history I'm talking about. History. It's like a lot of people other places, you know where you from right now, you know it's not the same from when you grew up. It's not the same city. It's not the same town. They remix it everywhere. So why? Your kids not going to know the real history. And they're going to make it where they really going to be second class. Meaning it's going to be people in position more than them. And they're not even going to have no more ties to their history, their roots. And that's what's really going to happen. That's how they're making it. And they try to make it where most of the children are messed up in the head, man. So that's why to touch on this topic, because this is the most important topic of this show. When I seen that they said that, you know, not only do children have mental health, but 73 million American kids, you know, are under strain. How is a child under strain? Think about that. How is a child under strain? This child don't pay no bills. The child don't gotta, you know what I'm saying, do with so much. How is a child under strain? We gotta look at that. It's saying children are under strain. Children got anxiety like a grown-up. You know, you got anxiety. That's when you grit your teeth. I don't know if some of y'all used to grit your teeth when you sleep. That's anxiety. It's gritting your teeth. That's why your back wisdom teeth break out, all that. Gritting your teeth, stressed out, headaches. It's saying children got anxiety. How is a child dealing with depression? What does a child have to deal with to be depressed? See? Now, we knew children always have behavioral problems. It's called cutting up, acting up. We know that. But when you put them all together, behavioral problems, depression, anxiety, and they're only children, a lot of this comes from they don't have a childhood. They're not having no fun. They stressed out. When you get stressed out, you might hit you a blunt. You get stressed out, you might get you a drink. What a child do when they get stressed out? That's the question. What they supposed to do when they get stressed out? And how do you even know when a child is stressed out? But these are things that's going on. The next topic is Wells Fargo. They say Wells Fargo been pulling some dirty tactics. They say that Wells Fargo approved less than half of its minority homeowner refinancing applications. So basically anybody, half of the people that put in applications that's not white automatically got rejected. And y'all know in the crisis, a lot of people are trying to refinance and trying to get that mortgage down some. But you got to understand, these banks want you to lose your house. They don't want you to get refinanced. They want you to get in debt so they can take it back. This is what Wells Fargo doing. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all in the building, in the room, you got your money put up in Wells Fargo. They're the same people sitting on your bread that ain't going to give you nothing when you need it. So what part of the game is that? I could have sworn Wells Fargo was the same people Wendy Williams taking to court to get her money. They telling her she can't touch her own bread. What kind of stuff is that? I make all this money, I grind, I put my bread up. Now you want to call me loony and say I can't take out my own bread. You see what's going on? And we put all our money in these banks, especially this particular bank. And you can't even go get a loan, right? You can't even get a refinance on your home because they really want to jam you up so you can take that crib back and resell it to somebody else. Told you that's the game they playing. That's the game being played. So, salute to everybody that pulled up. It's a lot of y'all. I'm going to get to y'all. What you say, Ron? Let me see. I'm not shocked Wells and Fargo helped slave owners build plantation with loans. That's a fact. All them companies did was remix their names. That's right. All of them banking companies, all of them had their hands in the slave trade. That was one of the first ways they was getting their money back in the day. That and Wall Street, all that was built off slave activity. That was the first set of things they was getting their money off of. You're exactly correct, Rondell. You get an A+. So we got to understand, man, it's a lot of games being played. The CEO at Wells is shady. They ran him out of another bank 2 years ago, see? But you got to remember, look, they say these are the real crooks. They say the real crooks work in the banks on Wall Street. That's what they say. The bankers allegedly. You see, but the people in the street get the blame. The working class, they gotta bust their head open. Is that not extortion when you put your money in the bank and then they tell you what they're gonna take out of it for you to take out your own money, call an ATM? Is that not extortion? A thing called what? ATM fees? Is that not extortion? If you go to the wrong ATM, you get smacked $5 for something you getting taxed on your own money. Is that not extortion? But we don't look at it like that. We say, man, that's only $3.50 here, $5. But when you taxing 1 million people like that, plus a day of free ATM fees, they get millions of dollars every day just off ATM fees. That could be $1 billion in America alone. It's simple. America's very big. So we already know if 50 million people go to the ATM today, foreign ATMs at that, and that's millions of dollars of extra fees they get every day. Just off nothing. Just off you swiping that card and getting rich. Now, if that ain't a hustle, that's the best hustle I've ever heard in the world. Somebody getting paid off you swiping your card. Every time you swipe, they get paid. Then they're the same people turn around, won't give you nothing. No loan, no nothing. You see, man, this stuff is getting crazy. It's getting out of control right now, if you ask me. That's why I don't want to hear no finger pointing. I don't want to hear no finger pointing on who the criminals, the dudes on the street. No, it's people with suit and ties that's robbing every day. They pulling off jack moves every day. The working people getting jacked. You mess around and play around with your account be bouncing checks. You made a mistake. Oh shit, I gotta pay. Damn, I done messed up. I done moved this money over here, move this over here. I got a fee now. Damn. Now imagine 1 million people make a mistake in one day. $30 each account. Tax 30 million. Man, that's 30, you know what I'm saying? $30 million plus off free money, just chilling. People that made little mistakes on their account, had something coming out of that, forgot the light bill was coming out, stuff like that. You paying over transactions. And that's a hustle. But guess what? It's legit. But the bankers and this is the American way. This is what it is, man. So my point is, everybody's taught to point the finger at the streets, but the streets ain't the only one doing the robbing. That's all I'm saying. We just spoke about the other day how Ukraine about to get the 13 billion. They're about to get $13 billion. $13 billion. I don't think nobody got a stimulus check in what, about a year and change now? About how long Money Bad Joe been in there? It's been a minute. We ain't get. I know it's a fact we ain't getting no money in a year. So, like I said, it's the money game. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the report is in stone that Wells Fargo, they denied half the people that try to get their home refinanced. This ain't even talking about people that try to get a loan. You try to go to Wells Fargo, try to get a loan, and see how much you're going to get. You ain't getting nothing. I promise you that. You better have A1. You better, I'm telling you, your credit score better be 1,000. You ain't getting nothing from them. So it is what it is. That's why it's many different places to put your money at. That's legit. But that's that on that right there. What else? I made sure I touched on everything. Like I said, man, thank y'all for pulling up, man. I try to put some good energy into this show because we got some real things out here going on. Also, I got to touch on this. It's something light, ain't nothing major, but y'all seen how Khalees's husband passed away at the age of 37. But why I touched on this is because y'all know Khalees, Nas' baby mother. For those that don't know, her husband's name was Mike Mora, and he passed at 37 from stage 4 stomach cancer. That's the main thing. I'm like, damn, how can a man, he just been 37 died of stomach cancer? So I'm like, damn. And it's funny. It was funny to me because it wasn't funny, but I remember when Khalees was trying to go hard at Nas and embarrass Nas and make him a deadbeat daddy. Now Nas still here, and her husband is resting in peace. So I just looking at how the tables turn in certain situations. That's what I was looking at in the story. Like, man, and this man was young. He died of stomach cancer, which also proves that the reports that was been going on that people been dying way younger now. You say the death toll for people 49 and under has increased as well. Mostly people in their 30s, early 40s. You know what I'm saying? Even late 20s. Cancer has been increasing. But it was just bugged to me how I remember Khalees was slandering Nas heavy, going in on that man, calling him a deadbeat, doing doing interviews, bashing him. Now her husband that she thought she shitted on Nas with, he ain't even here no more. So this is another lesson on how life works. Just let people be. Just chill out. Yeah, I'm gonna be real too. When I looked at that dude's face, when I seen her husband and I kind of seen her eyes too, it looked to me like they was turning up, allegedly. It looked like they might have been indulging in turning up activities. Because I do know that is a way to get stomach cancer before your time. Putting a lot of toxins in your stomach. But that's my opinion. I'm going to give a disclaimer on that. But I hope they wasn't turning up. And eventually he got burnt out and, he caught stage 4 stomach cancer. But the point of the matter of this story is I remember when Khalees was bashing Nas for like 2 years straight, call him a deadbeat. He don't take care of his kids. Oh, she was just slandering Nas. You know what I'm saying? She was really going ham on that man. And now the man, she probably thought she was straight where he's going. And Nas still chilling. So it just shows you sometimes when you break up with somebody, you don't really got to get messy like that. Sometimes y'all can have respect and just let it be. Because what? Y'all never know when y'all might need each other when y'all got kids. Now, what if Nas just straight turned his back on her right now? His child grown. What if he just turned his back on her? Like, yeah, remember you shitting on me before? Now you're going to need Nas now. But I don't think Nas is that type of dude. I think he probably still going to show her love. But this story had just hit me because I was like, yo, it's sad. It's funny. She was slandering this man. She probably thought she was straight, had a younger dude. Nas about 50. He's still a fly dude. He's still fresh and all of that. But she probably was feeling herself because she had a little dude, 37 years old, little young dude, in his 30s. But now he passed away before Nas. So that's another example. I want to show people that it's not about age no more, because people are younger dying before people older. Y'all remember when older people died from strokes and cancer? Now it's young people dying from strokes and cancer. The report came out the other day how younger people are catching heart attacks more, strokes, cancer. How is that? I know a lot of it do got to be with the eating habits. We know it does come from the what? The genetically processed food. We do know that for a fact. And we do know it comes from certain drugs. How is young people catching strokes? I've seen a young teenager recently caught a stroke, a heart attack. He was a teenager. He played sports too. But my point of the matter is, it's younger people catching strokes and cancer more than older people. This bug. Y'all remember before you heard about somebody with cancer or heart attack, they was like in their 60s or something. 60s, 70s, you know. Not no more. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It ain't about the old and the young no more. It's about who take care of themselves now. That's what it is. You take care of yourself, and what else? Keep your energy up high. Keep your energy levels right. Keep your levels right. You're going to be straight. You heard the saying, low vibration, low frequency. What low vibration mean? What that mean, low vibration? Man, that mean your heart about to stop soon. Because you're on a low frequency. When you're on a low frequency, your heartbeat, it start going to a certain low level. And when you're dealing with that negative energy for so long, you're always dealing negative energy, eventually your heart gonna stop. Eventually, you're gonna stroke yourself because you're always on a low vibration, you're always on a low frequency. What else? Y'all heard about laughing. Did you not hear that laughing kills the soul? Well, when you don't laugh a lot, you're always mad. That's how you get stomach cancer and all of that. It's a science behind laughing. A lot of people don't know that. All right, I'm gonna give you one example. A lot of y'all know y'all human beings, so y'all know it's a fact. You can laugh so hard you can pass gas. You know people that have did it. You might have did it. You can laugh so hard you can pass gas, but you know what you're actually doing? If you laugh so hard when you pass gas, you're actually moving your bowels in your stomach. You're actually expanding your intestines. That's why it's good to laugh. When you laugh, you don't stay jammed up. When you see people that mostly don't laugh, I guarantee you this. A person that usually died from some type of prostate cancer, stomach cancer, those are a lot of people that's always mad, bitter. They don't really laugh a lot. I promise you. It got to do with it. Laughing really is good for the soul. Laughing really is good for your existence. That's why I laugh, I joke, I do all of that. I promise you that. It's good to laugh, but you'll see a lot of people, they dying before their time because they're on a low frequency. They don't have high energy. They're not enjoying life. They're not expanding their lungs. Remember, don't you have to expand your lungs? You have to expand, you know what I'm saying, your whole body frequency. You have to expand your mind. You have to do certain things in order to sustain yourself. You do too much low stuff, your body starts self-destructing. So we got more power over our life than we actually know. But we was taught to do everything backwards. But I'm not a doctor. Don't take my word for it. That's a disclaimer on that. But people who know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. Keep your levels up high. And you'll be all right. Other than that, I held y'all long enough. Thank everybody for pulling up. Thank you, everyone, for pulling up, showing love, and supporting the show. Salute to the family in the bushes. Y'all made it to For No Fame episode, live episode 126, and we here. A lot of people try to come on in the morning, they can do what they do, but they ain't gonna do it like me. And salute to them brothers too. But all y'all gotta understand one thing, it's always gonna be a competition. It's called friendly competition. That's what it's called. I'm not gonna keep repeating the same thing. You see commercials when you'll see McDonald's take shots at Burger King and Wendy's. They all throw shots at each other. Pepsi, all brands gonna throw shots. So if I feel like you wasn't on in the morning and you coming on in the morning, I'm gonna feel like you coming in my lane. And whenever I feel like it, I might throw a shot at you. Because I stay out of your way, stay out of my way. But it's not personal. Y'all got to learn it's not personal, all right? But I'm not going to see cloning activity and I'm not going to say nothing. If I'm on the block and I'm moving my work and I feel like I never seen you on my block before, I'm going to say something. You get it? That's it. But how's everybody doing today? Lampinski, what up? All the bros, all the sis in the building. Y'all already know. Miss Nadine. Thank you, thank you. A lot of new people been pulling up, and like I said earlier, when you hear me turning up, if you hear me ranting, just know I'm never mad. That's all part of the show. I don't get mad. Just know that. I'm real laid back, cool, and collective. That's what I am. Till somebody mess with me in real life. Other than that, I always wanted to be the coolest dude on the planet. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm laid back. I be chilling. That's what I do. Miss Deja, you was up last night. You up this morning. Did you go to sleep? Salute the grown man P. I told you they was up 2:33 in the morning going live. P was live early in the morning. I seen Miss Deja in the chat. I shouted them out. I went back to lay down. I'm telling you, some of y'all don't be sleep. I think y'all get up late. Word. Salute to all y'all though. Definitely my man Wax Dog always pulling up, holding it down. My man Roski, what up, bro? That's a fact. Everybody in here, I told you that when my people pull up, I start getting extra. I told you, man, I get extra. My people probably. Miss L Blue, what's up, L Blue? Good morning. Salute. Salute. Annette, what's up? Annette be going hard in the paint too. Annette be on their necks. First Class Empire. What up? OG Circle Game. See, I got a lot of my day ones in here. I got a lot of my heavy supporters up in here. I see that, man. I see some of y'all ain't moved. I see a lot of y'all wasn't going back and forth. I know who's who. Chardonnay, good morning. It looked like you new to the building. If you are, hit the subscribe if you didn't already. Hit the all notification bell. See, I interact with my people, man. That's how I know who. I know who. I know who be there the whole time. I know who run back and forth. I know who gotta do other things, but I know who's solid and I know who with me. And I don't get mad at other people. I don't care who you watch. I don't care about none of that because that don't affect my life. And y'all all need to be entertained. You also need to watch car wrecks. It's okay to watch a train wreck. It's okay. Get it? What's up? ABGBK all day. All my people in here. Styly Icon. There's actually a class action you can apply for, or you got yanked with the false ATM fees between 2002 now. Wow. You just taught me something. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for pulling up. Happy to have you here. See, I be learning from the chat too. I be learning. Each one teach one. I told y'all, man. My man Alan, what's up, Alan? Man, what's going on in the UK, Alan? Told you, man, we coming over there one day, man. We'll do a live straight from your neighborhood, man. See, I'm gonna be real. I never been overseas. Yeah, I can say that I never been overseas. So when it comes to overseas, I'm limited. Sometimes I feel stupid because I ain't been overseas. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened when you know what I'm saying, when you got to get your life in order so you can get that card and get them tattoos on it. That passport. You know what I'm saying? That's part of growing up too. Traveling the country is like the highest part of growing up. You ain't never been around the country, you still got a little bit of child in you. Just know that. You still ain't see everything you thought you seen. You don't know everything you think you know. Now, I spoke to a lot of people from overseas. I spoke to people that been overseas. I try to learn that way, but it's not the same until I go overseas myself. I know that. So that's what I'm trying to show you. So for a dude that's stuck in one neighborhood, bro, that's really on the child level. If you never been nowhere. Now, if you've been places and you still do what you do, that's one thing. But if you never been nowhere else but your neighborhood or your block, at the end of the day, you got to understand that's like that's not good. That's all I'm gonna say. That's not good. I want to experience how it is to be out the country. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? When you're doing business, business is going to take you other places, period. Business cannot be conducted in just one place. It's not going to work. That's not good business. Business, you have to go to other locations. That's the whole purpose of what? Spreading the brand. That's what it's about. Why you think 850 McDonald's got shut down in Ukraine? 129 Starbucks. We thought they was just over here. No, they been over there getting money. Starbucks, McDonald's, they don't play. They got one in your hood. They got one in everybody's hood. That's what a brand is. Hunter Rizzo. Let me get Hunter Rizzo back. Hold on. I got you. After this, I got you, Hunter. I see you went back. Hold on, man. You went back to the other joint? I keep seeing different icons, bro. I'm going to check when I'm done. Other than that, I'm about to get out of here in a minute. Let me see what's up in here, and I'm gone. You see that? Hold up. She said, ghetto dudes always talking about traveling the world with me. Like, sit down. A lot of dudes, they scared to travel, man. They scared. They scared. Look at Paul. Look at Paul being a player. That's what I'm talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? See, bro, he ain't no hater. You got to show the ladies respect and you got to show them they love. What's up, Princess India? Other than that, like I said, thank y'all for pulling up. Sometimes I don't even want to leave, right? But we had a good show. You know, I'm going to touch on this one more time because I know a lot of y'all missed it. When I spoke on POOH SHIESTY, I was breaking down the fact that his lawyers presented in court that POOH SHIESTY is basically a millionaire, but that's not the point. They proved that POOH SHIESTY has $3,449,000 in his account right now. They also proved that when this so-called robbery happened, he had $40,000 cash on him. So the point they was making in court was not only did POOH SHIESTY know the individual he's accused of being shooting, they knew each other. They have no text messages, no audio, and they basically saying, why would a man with $40,000 want to rob a person that he already knows? Why would he want to rob him for a couple of $100s? So this is the point his lawyers are making. He got millions in the bank. He had $40,000 on the cash. Why would he rob this man for a couple $100? And why y'all trying to give him 8 years? That is the point of this whole conversation about how the lawyers are saying this is illogical. It doesn't make no sense. But they're using these tactics to give POOH SHIESTY a whole lot of time. So I don't know what all this is about. I also heard POOH SHIESTY being slandered on Clubhouse, in which POOH SHIESTY went live from the feds a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. He took a picture. He wrote statements. You know, I'm talking about statements speaking up for himself not being a rat. And he talked about people playing with his name out here because we hear people love to hear people playing with their name. And it's mainly the dude with the bumps on his face. He always slandering somebody about telling, but he's the main one that co-signed the dude that told. Do you dudes see the game when you're going to wake up? That's all I'm saying, bro. I don't care about what people do over there, but I want you to see how people were in good standards. And mind you, POOH SHIESTY was getting slandered while he's actually fighting his case. We see a lot of people trying to fight for their life, and then they getting slandered on certain platforms by certain people. So right now, his lawyers have proven in court that he's worth $3 million plus right now. He probably got his money drained, but He had 40,000 cash, and they saying, why the hell would he rob a man for a couple $100 and risk his whole career? So it is what it is. But my point of bringing this up is how it's easy. Once you got a certain image around you, once you from a so-called background neighborhood, it's easy for them to put charges on you because you are actually guilty until you prove yourself innocent. That's how the system works. And I touched on that. I also spoke about how Dolph, they did the autopsy and Dolph was shot up 22 times. 22 bullets riddled his body, and they was all from assault rifles. So they was big bullets. I also spoke about mental health for our kids is getting worse. They say 73 million American kids is under strain, and it seems to be getting very, very worse due to anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems. I went into a whole breakdown of that. If you didn't catch it, go back to the beginning. But the main recipe I will say for getting your kids on track is they got to play. They got to have a childhood. You got to take them places. You got to give them good experiences. And you got to let them be children. That's the first thing. They got to get attention. They got to get love. And we already know that part. But it has to be shown. And these are how you actually break the spells. If your parents didn't show you love, or God forbid you didn't have no parents, make sure you show your kids extra love. That's part of breaking the curses. Whatever you was taught, whatever was done to you that was foul as a child, you got to reverse it to your children and be extra with love. That's how you break the curse. And that's that on that. And I also spoke about Wells Fargo. Y'all already know they're not giving nobody no money. Half of their minority people that apply for loans, they got denied. And refinancing of their homes, they got denied. So that's what it is. Other than that, y'all have a good day. I'm about to slide out of here. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Once again, this For No Fame Live episode 126. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably be back later. I will be dropping content. Y'all stay in tune. And y'all have a good day. I'm out. 1.